Today, I have some incredible news that has the potential to send thousands of cash right into your wallet. This is massive, people. More than 60 million Social Security recipients in all 50 states will receive $2,800 checks that Congress recently passed. Billions of dollars in urgent assistance against inflation assistance that may soon arrive in your bank account and give you some much-needed financial breathing room if you or any elderly loved ones are now living off of fixed Social Security payments. Must pay very close attention to what I'm going to discuss in this video, because in just a few minutes, an additional $2,800 cash windfall might be coming your way. I'll break down all the essential information you need to know about this unexpected $2,800 payout. We'll discuss who precisely qualifies, when the funding could be received, and why Congress ultimately chose to take this significant action following years of party squabbling over bolstering Social Security. I promise you'll want to watch until the very end. In order to ensure that you don't lose out on any money that is legally yours from this payment, this might be a real game changer for the millions of American homes that are having financial difficulties. Increasing prices for necessities such as food, petrol, and housing. Welcome to Updates Area, your reliable resource for the most recent information regarding Social Security and the 4 stimulus checks designed specifically for American seniors, which include VIA and SSD recipients. I hope everyone is doing well. Now, let's get started. That's right, if you receive Social Security, you may receive an additional $2,800 sent into your account. This is great news that will soon provide our elderly and disabled folks who are struggling with rising expenditures with much-needed financial relief. In order to help balance the terrible inflation that has occurred, this $2,800 payment is being presented as an emergency cost of living adjustment or bonus payment, increasing the cost of necessities including food, petrol, housing, electricity, and healthcare, which has been reducing the purchasing power of people receiving a fixed Social Security stipend. For hardworking households struggling to make ends meet on their monthly Social Security payments, this significant financial boost might mean the world to them. Details are still being uncovered because this news is still breaking, but as of right now, we know that anyone receiving Social Security retirement benefits, disability benefits, or supplemental security income is eligible for this windfall, which puts over 60 million Americans at risk. Just consider the impact an additional $2,800 could have on your finances. It could be used to cover some expenses, pay off your rent for a few months, or simply give you more cash to spare during these difficult times. Many of you, I know, have been complaining about how difficult it is to make ends meet as prices for everything seem to keep rising. This payment may finally ease your burden and provide your finances a much-needed boost, but there are still a lot of unanswered issues. Regarding the logistics and schedule of how these checks would actually be dispersed, we're not sure if they will be given out all at once or in waves over the course of several months, and there's always the worry about any unforeseen circumstances or delays that might cause delays. However, what is known is that Congress has now formally approved the $2,800 payment. Additionally, the effort was bipartisan, which increases the likelihood that it will proceed quickly and without too many political obstacles. The proposal was tacked onto a section of legislation that had to be approved. With the midterm elections in 2024, it would have been extremely dangerous for both parties to have backed the payment, as support for it comes from a wide range of political backgrounds. Progressive Democrats, for example, have advocated for more substantial inflation relief for low-income Americans, while fiscal conservatives have hailed it as a little one-time outlay in comparison to the cost of doing nothing to support the financial needs of elderly and disabled individuals in need. Additionally, there is discussion that this $2,800 payment may serve as a catalyst for a larger Social Security reform in the near future. Prominent legislators are already advocating for the payment to be the start of a longer-term monthly rise in Social Security benefits. Although the rate of increase in consumer prices may have finally started to decline in recent months, it is still far from reaching pre-pandemic levels. Levels on the majority of consumer goods and services. There is a general belief that Social Security benefits require a significant long-term increase. Beyond simply these short-term cost of living adjustments, many of which are criticized as coming too late, more than 40% of seniors now depend only on Social Security, a source of income. Millions of people are currently struggling to keep up with the rapidly rising costs. Therefore, this one-time payment may prove to be a significant first step toward longer-term reform that will eventually allow seniors and the disabled to receive an inflationary increase in Social Security benefits. The need for this topic is great. Beyond simply adding a few extra dollars to retirees' pockets, the fact that tens of millions of older Americans are sharply reducing their expenditure owing to inflation has significant economic ramifications for consumer spending and the state of the economy as a whole. This payout will boost consumer spending by billions of dollars just when the economy needs it most, but enough guessing about where things could go from here. In the meanwhile, let's concentrate on what can be done. It ends up being a significant economic headwind impeding progress. We can say with certainty that the $2,800 payment to Social Security recipients is now a done deal. Naturally, there are already the typical partisan finger-pointing attempts to take credit for bringing this about, while simultaneously downplaying the other pary's contribution to its success. Ultimately, though, the American people don't really care who gets to cycle the football in the end zone, as long as we're seeing genuine movement in Washington to address the bread and butter issues. That's just par for the course in today's divided political atmosphere. Financial difficulties are affecting our day-to-day lives, and if someone is attempting to minimize the importance of $2,800, ask any senior citizen who is struggling to keep up with the rising costs of food, medicine, and utilities. They will tell you how much of a difference an extra $2,800 will make for their home. For the 15% of senior Americans living in poverty, an infusion of cash like this payment might be an absolute lifeline while living on a very tight fixed income. It's nothing short of revolutionary. This is a helpful reminder as well that despite all the partisanship, and when their backs are against the wall, our elected officials can still work together to adopt policies that improve people's lives, despite the instability we see in Washington these days. All too frequently, all we hear are terrifying tales of government incompetence and stalemate. This $2,800 payment demonstrates that positive things can still happen when enough political pressure is applied on important issues that the public deeply cares about. It also shows how even seemingly small-bore proposals can lead to bigger breakthroughs and create room for improvement, even though those criticisms are frequently well-deserved. In order to reach a settlement that benefits hardworking Americans from both political parties, sometimes all it takes is a one-time $2,800 check. Who would have imagined that this could eventually serve as a stepping stone toward resolving the larger structural problems with Social Security? Whether you're a Democrat, Republican, or neither, I think we can all agree that this outcome is a wonderful step forward after years of watching our senior loved ones suffer under the crushing weight of, I'll be the first to admit that $2,800 isn't nearly enough to completely alleviate the financial pressures facing millions of people on Social Security right now. We'll still need larger solutions. Inflation. It's about time they finally got a little extra help and economic breathing room. We cannot minimize the practical effects that an additional $2,800 will have on putting food on the table, paying unforeseen medical expenses, and keeping the lights and heat on, in order to properly safeguard the social safety net and retirement savings that generations of hardworking Americans have rightfully earned. We'll take the little victories where we can get them for the time being, and who knows, maybe this $2,800 payment turns out to be the comprehensive grand deal answer we all ultimately desire when money is really tight at the end of each month. The domino that, at last, moves things in the correct direction. If you haven't already, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel before I finish this video. I'll make sure to keep you updated on any breaking news on the time and distribution of these $2,800 Social Security benefits, so be sure to ring that alert. Subscribe to my channel to be informed about all of my newest videos. As always, I'll be dissecting everything in a fair and nuanced manner, free from any political bias or covert purpose. the actual information, so you may make an informed decision. My intention is to empower each and every one of you